Hello and welcome to Library Yoga with me, Jane Stimson from the LSC Sci-Fair Library. It is Wednesday, my dudes. That means that is a change from our normally scheduled time of every other Thursday at 5:30 p.m. We are having yoga on Wednesday this evening because starting tomorrow, Thursday, July 2nd through Sunday, July 5th, the Sci-Fair Library's online services, including online reference and programs, are going to be closed. So that is why we are coming to you on Wednesday. Our next class, though, will be back to the regularly scheduled Thursday time. Our next YouTube yoga class will be Thursday, July 16th at 5:30 p.m. But if you miss me in the meantime, you know that you can always do these classes again since they are archived on our YouTube channel. Okay. So our class theme tonight, we're going to do a sort of mix of hot and cold a little bit. So our first half of class, we are going to be warming up the body using warming breath techniques and using sort of a strong series of standing poses. Nothing crazier than we've ever done before, though. And then the second half of class, or the second part of class, it might not be exactly half and half, we're going to use a cooling breath, and we're going to use a more of a yin style yoga practice for the second half of class. And we'll sort of talk about what that means when we get there. Okay, so first part of class will be warm, we'll be moving. Second part of class, we're going to cool it down, and we're going to get a lot stretchier and relaxier, and we'll be able to end with a nice long Shavasana this evening. So come on and join me on your mats. And go ahead, since we will be starting seated for the first little bit, go ahead and roll up the back of your mat if that helps give you a little height or a little cushion to sit on and make your sit easier. You can also just grab a normal cushion or towel or cloth or whatever you have handy. Okay. So take a comfortable sit for you this evening, whatever that means. Maybe it's an easy cross leg. Maybe it's legs out straight in front. Maybe you're kneeling. But whatever you do, take a comfortable sit for you. And let's take a second to sit tall. So really feeling the earth below you through your sitting bones. Take a moment to pull the waist out of the hips. Pull the rib cage out of the waist. The gaze is straight ahead. You can either keep the eyes, you can close them, or you can keep them just very softly open. It's your choice. And I want you to bring your awareness for these first few breaths as we transition into this time and into this space of our practice. I'd like you to bring your awareness to your belly. And as you take these first few breaths of your practice this evening, I want you to think about starting the inhales and exhales in the belly. So as you inhale, really feeling the belly push out. You can even put your hand there to feel it push out. As you fill up the belly and the lungs and the chest with air. And then as you exhale, you can feel your belly falling, really pulling that belly button to your spine to help you empty out the belly and the lungs and the chest. So each new inhale fills up the belly, the lungs, the chest. Each exhale, we pull the belly in, emptying belly and lungs and chest. Just a few more rounds of belly breathing on your own life. Feeling the belly rising on the inhale and falling on the exhale. Now, the warming breath that we're going to start with this evening before we move into our physical practice, we're going to do a breath called lion's breath. So continue to belly breathe, and I'll sort of explain briefly. In a lion's breath, we're going to be inhaling through the nose, and we're going to be exhaling through our open mouth. And this is really going to help sort of warm and heat the body up. Now, when you do lion's breath and you exhale, you're going to stick your tongue out, and you can add sound. You can add to it. I'll show you in just a second. You can really make your lion's breath as playful as you want. Sometimes people are embarrassed to do this in a face-to-face yoga class, but hopefully just chilling in your house, you won't feel embarrassed about doing lion's breath to the utmost. Okay, so here's what we're going to do in lion's breath. And if your eyes are closed, take a second to open them up and look at me for a second. So as I said, we're going to inhale through the nose, and then on the exhale, we're going to open the mouth and eyes wide and stick out the tongue. And if on your exhale in lion's breath, you want to make it bigger by making a roaring sound, if you want to cross your eyes, heck, if you want to make your hands into claws and as you exhale, go for it. Make your lion's breath as big as you want to all warm us up. Okay, so we're going to do 3 lion's breath. Remember, in through the nose, exhale through the mouth, tongue out, making it as big as we want. So exhale everything. And then inhale through the nose. Exhale, lion's breath. Deep inhale through the nose. Exhale, lion's breath. One more just like that. Make this your biggest one yet. Deep inhale. And exhale, lion's breath. Good. Go ahead and drop that breath. Just get to an easy breath in and out through your nose, not trying to control it in any way. We're going to stay seated for a moment longer. So take a moment right now to unroll your roll if your mat is rolled up. Maybe get your legs long and just shake them out real quick. Just do whatever you need to reset your seat so that we'll be here for just a minute longer. So now that we've warmed up with our breath, we'll start our physical warm-up. Oh, lovely. So drop your left ear to your left shoulder. Press out through the right hand. Get a nice neck stretch on the right side of the neck. On your next inhale, come back to center and drop the right ear to the right shoulder. Maybe pressing out through that left palm to give you a little bit more stretch. And then inhale, center. Drop the chin to your chest. And just gently move the chin back and forth like it's a pendulum. Getting into the back and the sides of the neck. And then come to rest. And bring your head all the way around. Just doing some neck rolls in one direction. And the next time your head comes back center, switch the direction of your roll. Roll a few times the other way. And then bring the head back to neutral. Nice. Take a couple of shoulder stretches. Bring the right arm out by your side, cross it across your chest, and use the left hand to gently hug it in towards your body. You want to be feeling this stretch on the outside of the right shoulder here, right shoulder blade. Good. Release that, left arm out, cross it across the body, hug it in with the right arm. Release that. Both arms out to your sides, turn the palms up, and then bend the elbows so that the fingertips come to the shoulders like a YMCA M. Circle the elbows forward. This is one of my favorite shoulder stretches. And then circle the shoulders and elbows back. Good. Release. And I'm going to check my screen here real quick. Go ahead and just sit tight for me. Oh, okay, sorry. Thought I'd lost y'all for a second. Oh, scary business, y'all. All right, let's take a couple of side stretches. Walk the left fingertips out to the left a little bit. Inhale the right arm up. And then exhale, stretch over to the left so that the right side body gets a nice stretch all the way from the top of the hip through the right fingertip. Then inhale, come up to center, and we'll switch sides. Right fingertips down, left arm up and over, palm facing down. Get a nice side stretch. Inhale, come on up, and then making your way onto hands and knees, however you want to get there. Once you're on your hands and knees, just take a second to make sure you're all squared up so that the wrists are directly underneath the shoulders, knees are directly underneath the hips. Toes can be tucked or not, whatever helps you balance better. Let's take a few cat-cow. So on your inhale, drop the belly and look up for cow. And on your exhale, round the back, tuck the chin to the chest for cat. Several more rounds. Inhale, drop the belly, let the chest be broad. Exhale, press your hands into the earth to help you round the belly button away. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. Let's take one more complete round. Inhale, cat. Exhale, cat. And then bring it back to a neutral spine. We're going to do some core work. There's nothing that'll warm you up faster than doing a little bit of core work. So you have options here, as always, with my classes. You can just stay right here and keep doing cat-cow. You don't have to do this next part. If you do want to take a little bit of core work, though, I'd like you to come off the left knee and just drive the heel back. Just get a nice calf stretch in your left calf for just a moment. Okay. Bring that left knee down. And then bring the right hand out a little bit in front of you. Actually come off that back left knee again. You can stay right here. You can keep doing cat-cow, or you can lift the right arm and left leg. Thumb points up, toes point down. You can stay here, or we can make this dynamic. Inhale, extend the limbs. Exhale, crunch knee and elbow at the center. Good, 2 more of those. Inhale, extend. Exhale, elbow and knee meet at the center. Try and keep that low back long and broad. Inhale, extend. Exhale, crunch it in. Last time, extend. Set the limbs down. And just take a couple more cat-cows before we do the other side. Inhale, dropping the belly. Exhale, rounding the back, getting really cold. Then bring it back to neutral spine. Come off the right knee and just for a second, stretch that right heel back, getting a nice calf stretch on the right side. And then bring it back in just a little bit. Keep the knee off the ground. Left hand out in front. You can either stay right there or for a little bit more core work, lift them up. Make sure that right hip is squared down so the toes are pointing down. The hip isn't pointing off to the side. Inhale where you are, extend. Exhale, bend elbow and knee to touch at the center. Inhale, extend. Exhale, crunch. Trying to keep that back as flat and neutral as possible. Inhale, extend. Last time, exhale, crunch. Last time, inhale, extend. Set it down. Good. And sit back onto your heels for a quick little child's pose. And then when you're ready, I told you it was going to be a quick one, make your way onto your back. We're not quite done with core work yet. So make your way onto your back. And when you get there, bend the knees and lift the feet off the mat. So feet should be out straight out from your knees. Knees should be straight up from the hips. So that if I were looking at you somehow from the side, it would look like you were sitting very straight and prim in a chair, right? We've done this one before. We're going to do a little core move, and here's what it's going to look like. So you can just watch me for this first one. Arms are long at our sides. We're going to inhale where we are, and then on our exhale, we're going to think about pulling that lower belly in so that the core strength helps us lift up. So we're not lifting up a lot here, but head, neck, maybe some of the shoulders are off the mat, and we're reaching long. And then we're going to inhale where we are before we exhale it down. Okay? All right. Now, if it's easier for you to do this exercise with the feet on the mat, that's okay. You can do it that way. But for a little extra challenge, go ahead and bend the feet. And it helps to, bend the knees and flex the feet. Okay, good. Hands long by your sides. Inhale where you are. Exhale, peel the head, neck, maybe the shoulders off the mat. Really pulling that lower belly down to help you lift. Inhale here. Exhale, lower back down to the mat. Good. We'll do 2 more of those. Inhale where you are. Exhale. Lower belly draws down, lifting up. Inhale where you are. Exhale down. And make sure when you're lifting up, you're not letting it's very easy to fall into this trap where our chin and our throat are doing most of the reaching and not our core. If you find that your throat and chin are straightening, go lower so you can really focus on your core here. All right, last time. Inhale where you are. Exhale, reach, pull the lower belly down. Crunch it in, maybe just a little bit more. Inhale where you are. And then exhale, bring everything back down to the mat. Excellent job. Come onto your belly. I'm moving a lot on the mat today. Come onto your belly. Since we just did that core work, let's do a nice little ab stretch to kind of stretch that out. So come onto your belly. Tops of the feet are on the mat. You're on your forearms and fingers are spread wide. Elbows directly underneath your shoulders. Okay, make sure shoulders are away from your ears. Pull the head out of the turtle shell. Let the chest be broad. And you almost want to feel like you're pressing down with the tops of your feet and your hands. It's almost like you're pressing down and pulling back. So almost like you could pull your chest forward. This is Sphinx pose. It's a nice counter pose to some of that ab work. One more breath here in Sphinx. And then moving the hands underneath your shoulders. Press all the way back so you're sitting on your heels. Arms out long. Take a child's pose. Knees can be together. Knees can be apart. Always take a child's pose that feels good for your body. Always know that you can come back to child's pose at any time during our practice this evening. And then let's transition to the top of the mat. So taking a second to look forward at your hands, making sure fingertips are spread wide. Hands are about shoulder width apart. We want to feel like we're rooting down and forward with the hands. And then tuck the toes, lift the knees, lift the hips up and back, downward facing dog. And in our first down dog, take a second to really bend one knee at a time so that you're getting a nice calf stretch on either side. Drawing the hips to the back of the mat, driving the heels down towards the mat. Good. And then 2 straight legs. One deep in breath, making sure head and neck are relaxed, shoulders are away from the ears. And then bending the knees. Walk the feet to your hands, taking as much time as you would like.
And when you get your feet to your hands, leave the feet maybe hip width apart. Maybe you want to make them a little bit wider. So bring the feet right now somewhere between hip width and mat width apart. It's up to you. I'm going to bring mine mat width. And really bend the knees as much as you need to here to get your fingertips on the floor. So if you need to be really bent, totally fine. All right. Take a deep in breath here where you are. And as you exhale, leave your fingertips where they are and just release the head and neck and shoulders. Really feel like your head and neck are just very relaxed. And really the whole back is relaxed, just spilling out of the hips. Take an inhale, flatten the back, or come up like you're about to flatten the back. You might not be, it's okay. And then exhale back down. And then walk the fingertips over to the left. So somewhere in the vicinity of your left foot, it doesn't have to be very much. And I really like to bend my right knee here. So fingertips are towards the left, right knee is bent. And that gives me a nice little hamstring and calf stretch in the left. Can you tell that somebody requested calf stretches tonight? All right. Walk the fingertips back to the center, straighten the legs. Inhale, take a half lift. Exhale, release it down. And we'll take the other side, walking the fingertips somewhere over to the right, maybe bending that left knee. If you feel like that helps you get a little bit more of a stretch. If it doesn't do anything or if it makes it feel worse, don't bother. Just keep your legs straight or still gently bent. And then walk those fingertips back center. One more time, inhale, halfway, flat back. Exhale down. And then bending your roll up. One vertebrae at a time. Head comes up last, shoulders roll back. Nice. All right. Bring your feet back into alignment. We're going to start off our standing series as always with a few half salutations to really link our breath with our movement. So go ahead and take your mountain pose at the top of the mat. Get really solid here. Make sure 4 corners of your feet are all pressing down evenly into the mat. Legs, thighs are engaged, tailbone tucked. Hands resting at your sides. Palms face forward or in towards you. Take a second while you're here, roll the shoulders back. Just feel your shoulder blades traveling down your back. Shoulders are relaxed away from the ears. Gaze is straight ahead. Mountain pose. Nice. Okay. Exhale everything. And on your inhale, hands will rise. Exhale, bend the knees, folding forward. Inhale, hands to the shins, flatten the back like you're coming up halfway. Look. Exhale, rebend the knees, refold. Inhale, press the feet into the earth to help you rise to a stand, arms lift. And exhale, hands return to the side. Let's take a couple more of those before we start adding on. As you're ready, inhale, arms will rise. Exhale, bend the knees and fold. Inhale, hands to the shins, lift halfway, flat back. Exhale, refold. And then inhale, rise all the way to a stand, reaching through your ring fingers, looking up, seeing your hands. Exhale, return. We're going to start to add on to this one. Inhale, arms will rise. Exhale, bend the knees and fold. Inhale, hands to the shins, lift up halfway, flat back. Exhale, refold. Left foot takes a big step back. Left heel pivots down. Arms cartwheel up. Just bring the hands to the hips for a second while we set up the feet in warrior 2. So right foot is forward, right toes point forward, right shin is vertical, right knee is directly over the ankle, right? We don't want that that knee coming forward. Take a second, look down at your back foot. Make sure that you either have your front heel aligned to the back arch or aligned to the back heel. So just take a second right now, play with your alignment, figure out what works best for you, which stance. And then really put a lot of weight into that back foot. As you re-drop that front thigh, make sure front shin is vertical, and then we can bring the arms out long by our sides. Really putting that weight into the back arm and the back feet to help us feel even. Warrior two. We'll take a few breaths here before we move on. Gaze out over the right middle fingertips. Deep inhale. And on your exhale, bring your right forearm to the right thigh. Left arm can either reach straight up to the ceiling, or you can bring that bicep over your ear, so you're making one long diagonal line from left fingertips through left foot. If you want a little bit more, you can bring this right hand down, either to the inside or the outside of the foot. Or if you practice with blocks, you can grab a block. This is extended side angle pose. And we're going to come up to a stand in just a second. It's going to take a lot of core strength. So when you're ready, inhale, come all the way back up to your stand. As you do that, straighten that front leg. I bet that's going to feel good. Walk that back foot in just a teeny tiny little bit. We're coming into triangle pose. So reach with the right hand, take the back hips back. And then when you can't reach anymore, bring that right hand down to the right leg or the mat. And that left arm will reach up to the ceiling, triangle. Wherever that right hand is, press into that right hand. It should be solidly enough on something that you can press into that right hand and feel that when you do that, the left side of the chest opens up a little bit more. Nice. Triangle pose. Use our core to come up. Inhale, come on up. I told you this first half would be a warm part. Bring the hands to the hips. Turn the right toes so that they're facing the same direction as the left toes. So we're facing the left side of our mat. Make sure that toes and heels are in line with each other. Inhale, get really long in your spine. And then exhale, you can bend the knees a little bit to help bring yourself down. Forward bend, bringing the hands to the mat. And if you need to really bend your knees or make your stance wider, whatever you need to do to get your hands down is fine. And once more, really let your head and your neck go. Let's even take a second right here, nod the head yes. Shake the head no. Really nice neck release, good. And then on your next inhale, come up halfway. We're going to take that same walk left and right. So walk the hands towards your left foot. They don't have to get all the way over there. And maybe bend your right knee just a little bit. Feel that stretch up the back of the left leg. And then walk the hands back center, straighten that right leg. And walk them over to the right. Bend into the left knee. And once again, if that bend is not doing anything for you stretch-wise, you can just leave it. Walk the fingertips back center. And then we're going to pivot to the front of the mat. So both toes are pointing forward. We're here in a lunge. Front foot is bent, front knee is bent. And then bring that back knee to the mat. Flip the back toes. and bring one and then the other hand on top of the right thigh. So we're here in a crescent moon. You can leave the hands here, or you can lift them up by your ears. Shoulders relax away from the ears. Crescent moon. Few breaths here. And one more deep inhale. And then exhale, bring your left hand down to the inside of your right foot. Bring your right hand to your right hip. We're going to take a twist. And you'll have variations on this. So inhale where you are. And exhale, just turn your chest to the right. Okay, so this is one variation that you can take. You can stay right here. If you want to add on a little bit more, you can lift your right arm to the ceiling. Arms are stacked. If you want even more in your twist, if you want to get as warm as possible before we stretch it all out at the end, you can tuck your back toe and come off your back knee and make this a lunge rather than a crescent moon twist. And if you want even a little bit more, if you're feeling like you could really go for it today, I want you to press down into your front foot. That's going to help stabilize you. And try and come all the way to a standing twisted lunge. Woo. Torso and palms are facing the right in this variation. And then everybody, no matter where you are, bring your hands down, bring that back knee down. So both hands are inside the right foot. Walk the right foot out to the right a little bit. And square those hands up. We're going to come into lizard. So if you like, you can come onto the blade of your right foot, open up that right knee to the right. Nice. You can stay up here on your hands, or if you feel like you have the flexibility, you can come down onto one or maybe both elbows. Or maybe one elbow and use that right hand to push the right knee out a little bit more to the side. All right, if you were down on your elbows, bring your palms down, use them to push yourself back up. Walk that right foot and right knee back into alignment, hands to either side of the front foot. And then just bring this front knee back to meet the back one and lower all the way down onto your belly. Lovely. Hands underneath your shoulders, elbows hug in, press into your hands and the tops of your feet to peel your chest. Maybe your belly off the mat for cobra. Deep breath here. And then exhale, roll it back down. Push back to a tabletop position. Tuck the toes, lift the knees and the hips up and back, downward facing dog. Deep inhale. Slow exhale. Inhale. And then step your left foot and then your right foot forward. When you get there, inhale, bring your hands to the shins, lift halfway, flat back. Exhale, refold. And then inhale, arms rise to a stand. Exhale, palms touch in front of your heart. Let's just take a second between sides in your mountain pose. So palms are together, fingers are spread wide. Connect your thumb to your breastbone and take a second and gaze down at your fingertips. Let's take a couple of breaths. Good. Release the hands by your sides, look forward. Let's just finish this out with the second side, and then we'll come down to the mat and get all stretchy and cool down. All right. Mountain pose. Exhale everything. Inhale, arms will rise. Exhale, bend the knees, fold forward. Inhale, hands to the shins, lift halfway, flat back. Exhale, refold. This time, right foot steps back, right heel pivots down. Cartwheel the arms up. And just for the first moment, hands to the hips so we can check on our foundation. Front shin is vertical, front knee over front ankle. Front heel is aligned with back heel or back arch. So play with that, feel what works best for you. And then if you can, sink into that front thigh a little bit more. Put a lot of the weight into the back foot so both feet feel like they would weigh the same. And then extend the arms, bringing the gaze out over those left middle fingertips. We'll take a few breaths here. Good. Inhale where you are. On your exhale, bring the left forearm to the left thigh or bring left hand all the way down to the mat. Your call. And bring that right arm either straight up to the ceiling or turn so that the palm faces down, bicep is right over that ear. And same thing as we did with triangle, you can think about in this pose. Pressing into that forearm helps sort of rotate the right side of the chest and open it up a little bit more to the side. Okay, feel the right shoulder blade pressing into the back. Good. On your next inhale, use your core to rise all the way to a stand. As you do that, straighten that front leg. Walk the back foot in just a little bit. Re-extend your arms if you unextended them like I did. And then reach for the front of the room. Kick the back hips to the back. And then bring that left hand down wherever it wants to rest this evening. Somewhere on the leg, the mat. Wherever you are, get some rebounding action to open up the right side of the chest. So pressing down into that left hand. On your next inhale, come all the way up to a stand. Hands to the hips for a second. I'm just going to turn so you can see me for this next one. I'll remember to turn back around. And whereas before we had our toes pointed straight forward, I want you to look down at your feet. Point the toes out, bring the heels in. So feet are kind of pointing towards the corners of the mat. And then bend the knees. And you can drop down a lot or a little bit, it's up to you. Wherever you are, bring the hands to the sides. And then drop the right shoulder to the center and look over the left shoulder. Inhale, back up. And exhale, drop the left shoulder into the center. Look out over the right shoulder. Inhale, back up. Remember to turn around now. Straighten into those legs. Pivot both feet towards the front of the mat. And then just bend into that front knee. Hands down. We're in our lunge for a moment. Then drop the back knee, tuck the back toes. One hand and then the other on top of the left thigh now. Crescent moon. You can leave the hands here or you can raise them up on either side of your ears. Knowing that we are building our last little bit of heat, so really going for it. Inhaling here. Exhaling, right hand comes down to the inside of the left foot. And if it feels better on your balance to walk your left foot out just a little bit here to the left, do it. Left hand to the left hip for right now. Inhale where you are. And then exhale the chest to the left. You can stay right here for a little bit more. You can raise the left arm to the ceiling. For a little bit more, you can really do a strong tuck in those right toes and come off the right knee. For even more, press really solidly into that front foot and use your core to help you rise to a standing twisted lunge. All right, and then exhale, bring both hands to the inside of the left foot, come onto that back knee, flip the back toes. Walk the left foot out to the left, we're coming into lizard here. So if you like to come onto the blade of your left foot and open up that left knee a little bit, go for it. You can stay up on your hands or come down onto one or both elbows. I'm going to just come down onto one and use that other hand to give me a little bit more openness in that way. You're on your elbows, come onto your hands and push yourself back up. Bring that left knee back into position, so in the center, hands on either side of it. And then just bring this front knee back to meet the back one and lower all the way down onto your belly once more. Hands underneath the shoulders, tops of the feet, press into the mat, elbows hug into the ribs, rise to cobra. And then exhale, release the chest down and press yourself back into child's pose. Good. All right. So we're going to transition into our second part of class, more of our yin style part of class. So we're going to transition into that using a cooling breath. So come out of your child's pose, and you can either be kneeling or you can be seated. It's up to you. So just take a second to take a seated or kneeling pose that feels comfortable for you this evening. So in our cooling breath, we're going to take the opposite pattern that we took from lion's breath. So in our cooling breath, we are going to inhale through the mouth and exhale through the nose. And there's actually a couple different types of cooling breath, depending on which one you can do. And so we'll explain in just a second. So our first kind of cooling breath that we have is called Sakaki. And some of you might not be able to do Sakaki, because in Sakaki, what we're going to do is make a curl with our tongue, like a fruit roll-up, right? That's a genetic thing. You might not be able to curl your tongue that way. So if you can't, just hang on a second. If you can't curl your tongue, what you're going to be doing in our cooling breath is opening the mouth and sticking that tongue roll out, maybe about 3/4 of an inch to an inch. And you're going to be inhaling through that cool tongue roll. And then on your exhale, closing the mouth, exhaling through the nose. If you cannot make that tongue roll, you are going to do what we call Sakaki breath. And in Sakaki breath, we're going to pull the lips away from the teeth. It's going to look like we're smiling really big. It's going to look like we're kind of deranged a little bit, because we're going to smile really big and take that air in through the gaps in our teeth. And then again, on our exhale, close the mouth and exhale through the nose. So Sakaki is going to look like this. You maybe don't have to make the eyebrows, but I did. Okay, so we're going to take 3 rounds of this cooling breath. And so think about right now, if you can do the tongue roll, you're going to do the tongue roll. If you can't do the tongue roll, you're going to have the lips be broad and take an air through the teeth. The whole point of this is that we feel this coolness of our breath as it enters through the mouth one way or another. All right, so I'm going to do Sakaki because I can do the tongue roll. First, take a second, exhale everything. And now inhale either through the tongue roll or the teeth. Open mouth. Exhale through the nose. Inhale through the mouth. Feel the coolness of the air. Exhale through the nose. Last one, inhale. Exhale through the nose. Nice. So hopefully that helped cool you down a little bit. You can always take that cooling breath as we're coming into July in Houston. We definitely will need it. All right, so our last little bit of class tonight is going to be sort of a yin style practice. If you've never heard of yin yoga before, that's yin as in Y-I-N. And it's sort of a different type of energy from the type that we just practiced. So let's go ahead and get into our first pose, and I'll kind of talk about it a little bit. So bring your legs out long and take a second to use your hands to pull your flesh out into the side so that you really feel your sits bones coming to the earth. Feet are flexed. Inhale, hands up, arms up by your sides, shoulders away from the ears. And then exhale, fold forward, bringing the hands wherever they want to rest this evening. Maybe that's thighs or shin for now. So as you breathe here, let's talk about yin. So in yin yoga, there's really sort of three hallmarks of yin yoga. The first one is that we hold for time. So we're going to be holding yin poses longer than you typically would. Yin, we hold poses for at least a minute or two, usually longer. And the idea with holding these poses longer is that it really gives us time to find our edge. So as we stretch into these next several poses, this one included, I don't want you to stretch to your extreme, most stretchiest point the second you get into the pose. Start out a little bit pulled back and use the time that we're here in the pose. Use your breath to help you drop deeper and deeper into the stretch, right? The longer we spend here and the longer we breathe, you'll start to feel yourself dropping even just a tiny bit, just a little bit deeper into the pose. And so that brings us to the third hallmark of yin. We hold for time. We find our comfortable edge. We stretch to a point we feel sensation, but never pain. And then the third hallmark is that we find stillness. So as we hold for time and find our edge, we focus on the breath and the body. Let these poses help us cultivate focus and stillness. Okay, deep inhale here. Exhale, release. I promise I won't talk as much through these next ones. All right, so this next one we have a choice. Bend your knees, and you can either bring the soles of the feet together. You can play with how far or how close the heels are into your groin. Or if this doesn't feel very good for you, bring the feet out a little bit further and maybe separate the feet about 6 to 12 inches, right? So this is Omega pose with the feet out further and separated. Or you can bring them in and bring them together for bound angle. It's up to you. Whatever you've chosen, take a second, sit really tall, inhale. And on your exhale, keeping a flat back, start to fold forward and maybe walk the fingertips forward. We're not going to fold any further, more than we can keep our back still straight. And now I'm going to go quiet for a little bit. We'll leave that. As we hold for time, and find our edge, and find our stillness. So using your breath to bring you deeper. Inhale, extend the spine. Exhale, see if you can walk the fingers a little. Last couple of breaths here in down dog or omega pose. Good. Last deep inhale here. And on your exhale, slowly, really take your time. Release. And walk your fingers back up. You're back in your seat. Nice. Take one twist before we recline all the way on our back. Kind of figure out, yeah. Okay, so leaving your left leg down, bring your left heel to the outside of your right glute. And then cross the right foot over so that the right foot is to the outside of the left knee. Bring the right hand behind you. Hold on to the right knee with the left hand. Inhale, get tall. And then exhale, twist the chest open to the right. You can keep the left hand where it is, or for a little bit more leverage, you can bring the left elbow to the top of the right knee and twist a little further. And same thing here, we're not going to twist as deep as we can immediately. We're going to use our breath to help us get in. So each inhale extends the crown of the head and the spine long. And each exhale, we're going to twist and open a little further. Good. One last deep inhale here. And on your exhale, twist back to the front. Bring both hands behind you and we'll just switch legs. So this time, right knee is bent and on the floor, right ankle to the outside of the left glute. Left foot is crossed to the outside of the right knee, left hand behind us, right hand holds left knee. Inhale, get really tall, and exhale, twist open to the left. Maybe bringing that elbow on top of the left knee for a little bit more left. Finding stillness in this pose by focusing on our breath and our edge. Extending the spine long with each inhale and twisting a little further with each exhale. Good. One last deep inhale here. And on your exhale, release. And then bend both knees and make your way onto your back. Last couple poses before we take our nice Shavasana rest pose. So bend the knees and then actually hug both knees into your chest. And then cross the right ankle on top of the left thigh. We're going to come into reclined pigeon. So make sure that this right foot is flexed, right toes pointing back towards the right knee. That helps protect our knee. And then this left foot can just be relaxed. You can either bring it down to the mat, or for more stretch, let it be off the mat. Clasp your fingers behind the left thigh. Inhale where you are. And then exhale, gently pull the thighs in towards your chest. We should be feeling that stretch on the outside of our right glute, right hip, maybe a little bit in the right hamstring. Starting to wind down, starting to relax. On your next exhale, gently release. Hug both knees into the chest. If it feels nice to take a little rock, massage the low back between sides, go for it. And then switch, cross the left ankle on top of the right thigh, left foot is flexed. Clasp the hands behind the right thigh. If you're really flexible and you want a little bit more to this stretch, you can even clasp the hands behind, in front of the shin, as close to behind the thigh. Inhale where you are, and exhale, pull it. You don't have to pull very much to get a good stretch here. So just, again, be gentle. Find your edge. Slow, deep inhale. And on your exhale, gently release. Hug both knees into the chest. Once more, maybe take a little rock around. And then extend your legs long down the mat. We're going to come into our last pose before we hit Shavasana. So maybe just, take a second, make sure you're all centered on your mat. Okay. This pose is not traditional yoga. Its name is Banana Asana. It feels really great though. So we're going to stay here with our back on the mat. And all I want you to do is walk your feet towards the bottom left corner of your mat. They don't have to go very far. Cross your right ankle on top of your left ankle. Now, keeping your glutes, your hips, your torso exactly where they are, just try and shimmy your head and your shoulders towards the left side of your mat. So we're making this big curve or banana shape with our body. Okay, the last piece of this, we're going to lift our arms above our heads and either clasp elbows or clasp wrists if that's a little bit too much on the shoulders. Shoulders don't have to be down, elbows don't have to be down, but just have the hands and elbows above the head. So we should be feeling this really lovely stretch all the way down the right side body. If you're not feeling it, maybe shimmy the shoulders or walk the feet off a little bit more to the left. You can even grab onto the right elbow with the left hand and get a little tricep stretch in there too. Come back to your breath. Can't really use our breath to help us get deeper into this pose, but we can certainly use it to help us relax and let go. After a full hour of practice. All right, now to get back, we're going to get out the same way we got in. So unclasp your wrists or your elbows and bring your hands back by your sides. You can use your elbows to shimmy your head and torso or shoulders back center. And then uncross the right ankle, bring it back center. Just take a second, recenter your whole body on the mat. And then we'll take the other side. So walking both feet towards the bottom right corner of your mat. Maybe crossing your left ankle on top of the right if that felt okay. Leaving the torso where it is. Shimmy just the shoulders and the head to the top right. So we're feeling that banana curve down the left side of our body. And then finally bringing the hands above our heads, maybe clasping opposite elbow or opposite wrist, right? Maybe sides are different. And closing the eyes and breathing here. Feeling how the stretch comes all the way up the side seam of your body from left ankle to left shoulder. Okay. And then coming out the way that we came in, unclasp the wrists or the elbows, shimmy the head and the shoulders back center. Uncross the ankle and bring the feet back center. Okay. Now, I'm going to sit up. You stay reclined. We have a choice for our last few minutes of class this evening. You can bring yourself up to a sit and take a meditation, a brief meditation. Or you can take a normal Shavasana, just lying down on your back. Might feel really lovely to do a belly Shavasana tonight. So if you're going to do belly Shavasana, turn all the way onto your belly and just listen. Belly Shavasana has two sides. So for our first side, we're going to bring our left arm long down our side, left palm faces up. Bring the right cheek to the mat. And then bend that right elbow up above the head, so right palm faces down. Let everything relax into the mat. You're taking your belly Shavasana. I'll let you know when it's time to switch sides. And using this opportunity to relax your body all the way down into your mat. Letting go of any gripping of the muscles in the face, shoulders, the legs. Just let everything release and relax down onto the mat. If you decided to sit in meditation, I invite you to stay in your sit, or feel free to recline down to a traditional resting pose for the last remaining minutes or so. If you're in that belly Shavasana, it's time to switch sides. So bring your left cheek to the mat. Bring your right arm long by your side, palm faces up. And fold the left arm so it's above your head, palm onto the ground. And enjoy this last side of this belly rest pose. If you're in your resting pose, reclined on the mat, make your way over onto one side with your knees bent. Without rushing, taking your time, keeping your eyes closed, use your hands to push yourself up to a seated position. And when you get to your seat, still keeping your eyes closed, bring your palms together in front of the heart. Thank you all so much for practicing with me this evening. Bow the head, drop the hands, and gently blink the eyes open and come back center. All right. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you liked that mix of warm and cooling it down with some yin. I hope you have a safe and healthy Independence Day weekend. Please stay safe, please stay healthy, and I will see you for the next yoga class on Thursday, July 16th. Stay well, everybody.